Thank you for joining us for the next hour or two in this episode of Inside Myanmar podcast. In an age of nearly limitless content, we appreciate that you're choosing to take valuable time out of your day to learn more about what is happening in Myanmar. It's vital for this story to be heard by people around the world, and that starts right now with you.
And welcome back. I'm joined today by an online Myanmar activist who is going to give us some insight into the realities on the ground for the people who are dealing with the military's cruelty and the consequences, social, economic, and of course, the more recent development of the conscription law. So, Little Activist is the only name I know you by. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, and I'd like you to introduce yourself for our audience so that they have an idea of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, my nickname is Little Activist for this Myanmar Spring Revolution. I started my democracy activism since 2021 February 1, the first day of Myanmar military coup. Honestly, I have no idea at the time because as a youth, as a teenager, I have no experience about the military. But I have to learn many things about the history and the military, and then I studied the activism through Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and some other social media platforms. Um, as for me, I work especially on paperwork like tricks, um, open talks and knowledge sharings and data collecting about the crimes of Myanmar military hunter, Myanmar military terrorists, and daily crimes like how many people were killed, how many people were attacked. Yeah, I work on this.
Interesting stuff. And so you would say it's more about reporting is what you do, not so much sharing propaganda, not so much sort of pushing people and motivating people, but more just about getting information out to the people so that they know the truth.
Yeah, I don't do propaganda because I'm just sharing the real situation, the real condition of our country, Myanmar, to the world through social media platforms. Um, Honestly, the world don't know our country. It is sad, but
Mm.
it is real thing. No one knows. I listen. Almost everyone don't know Myanmar, but they know Thailand, Singapore. These countries are very close to us. Is our neighboring country, but they don't know Myanmar. So we have to try to express our voice, our feeling, our condition to the world. So I collect the daily news, daily facts from the local source, local media outputs, and I rewrite into English. And then
Excellent.
I make some tweaks, some Facebook posts, and like that, some information sharing.
Mm. That that reminds me of me. I used to do something similar. I used to translate the memes
Yeah,
and the protest signs from Burmese into English on a Facebook page.
Yeah.
so people could understand that. So I do see great value in what you do, because you're right. The international community does not know about Myanmar and does not have the information from Myanmar, and without the translation, there's no way to connect the Myanmar situation to the international community. So it's excellent what you're doing, but let's then sort of jump in, because I know you don't have too much time.
Yes.
Let's look at the conscription law first. So can you talk us through what is the conscription law, and can you tell us how did people react to this in Myanmar?
It is very wide to spread, but I will sort out the most important factors for this moment. Um, the mandatory military service, the constitution law, is is like their the hunters less cat, because the fight between them and our revolutionary folks is intense day by day, and the revolutionary movement around the world, including Myanmar, are stronger day by day. So they have no more energy to resist the people's revolution. I think so. So they want to make people more harder, more difficult in daily life. So they make some psychological things like mandatory military service. When the law, I don't want to use this as a law. This is just a joke. Yeah. So when this joke is uh out, and almost everyone in Myanmar is free, like nothing special, because we already know that the hunter is making every possible way to make eggs harder in daily life. So we already guess that, but when we fix actually the little effects on us. um on my opinion, only on my opinion, um the law is nothing but it is just a things of crime under the name of law. Yes, they want to make
Mm.
more crimes. Yeah, and with the cover of the law, because they do a mandatory military service to everyone in the Myanmar. But the only reason, their reason to make this law is they want to collect many young people, because their soldiers, their terrorist followers are dying day by day. Hundreds
Mm.
of thousands of their soldiers, Myanmar Democrat soldiers, yeah, their names. But I want to mention them as a Myanmar military terrorists are
Mm.
dying day by day. Hundreds of thousands of terrorists are dying. So they want to make people as a like human sheep, human
Mm.
sheep. They want to make us die. That is the only reason. And so the the crowd, the citizen respond in very loud voice. We make many letters, many voice, many expression through the internet, social media platform like Twitter, Facebook, and then but as I mentioned above, almost everyone don't know Myanmar, so it is very hard to express our feeling. But we will never for we will never give it. We'll try every possible way to express our freedom.
Absolutely. But the question here with the conscription, is the military able to take people for conscription? Because we heard rumors. Uh, I was receiving rumors even in December that the military was abducting
Yeah,
young people.
yeah,
So
of
is the
course.
military able to force people to join the military, or do people just ignore this?
Yes, no, no, no. We we have no power to ignore them, because there are many restrictions in our country, Myanmar. Some I want to mention some facts like yeah. Now in the last few days I got a update news. When a people when a person went to make a passport, they um they need to make an ID, an online ID.
Hmm.
Yeah, first. Without that online ID, they cannot get passport for now on. If this online ID is like tracking GPS. When making a when a person make the diskette, every information, every detail, facts, everything about his or her is on diskette. So the security of the people of Myanmar are, yeah, not safe anymore. So we have no power to deny them their laws. Uh, as you said, the rumors are real things that happen in Myanmar. They did a lot of same things in things many years ago before coup. They adapted many youths. They they taken hostages many. They taken hostages many people in rural areas because there are no internet connections, and they want to make. They take everyone they want to make. So there is no surprise things because they did it in very long time ago. So they adapt that, they kill. Sorry, they raped women, children. They kill, bomb. So every crimes against humanity, they take it, they do it, they are doing, and they will do. Yeah. So I have said, sadly, we have no power. Uh, Honestly, I have no idea how to answer this for this moment.
Mm,
Yeah.
absolutely. But so the question then is, do they have like recruiting offices? Are they sending letters to people's homes and saying, well, you have to come to the recruiting office? Or are they just going onto the street and taking people?
Oh, you're not yet. Yeah, not yet. But this will be in few weeks, few months.
Ah, okay. So that is the plan.
Yeah. They are planned. Yeah.
Dear God. And so I heard rumors that in some cases young children or youths were taken by the military and the families would go to the military and the military would say, we will return your children to you if you pay us, I don't know how much, like 20 lakh or something enormous. So like 2 million Myanmar chat.
Yeah.
Is there truth to this?
Yeah. Of course, absolutely. As I said above, there is not a new things, surprise things, not a surprise things. They did it before. Yeah, it is called in Myanmar like Pota Soede. Yeah, it's like it's recruiting military service like we mentioned ex Pota Soede because there are a lot of uneducated children and youth in our country. It is said things. So they firstly collect these uneducated and uh, um, I mean that people with no family, yeah, so
Mm,
these are the first target for them. So they collect them as, and then they makes them as a soldier, and they makes them time in the front line. So for this moment, yeah, they want to make they want to make money from adapting youth. Yeah, it is a true thing, not a rumor.
wow. So but then they're not taking these people to
Yeah.
put them in the military. Sometimes they're just taking them for money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Everything they did, everything they want to do. Yeah, they sometimes in Burmese we say lesare. It's like corruption. Yeah, they did
Mm,
a lot of corruption. They did a lot of corruption in every possible way. They adapted and it's not adapted. It's like hostages. Yeah, they
yeah.
hostages. They make hostages young people and took many from their family. It is a normal thing in Burma, Myanmar.
That's okay. So the response to this has been that a lot of people want to flee. I have seen on Facebook advertising
Yeah.
from immigration lawyers, immigration companies saying we will help you avoid military conscription in Myanmar. So a
Uh-huh.
lot of people are trying to leave. Now I've been told that the military has now put a limit on the number of visa applications that are processed per day, and thousands of people are going to the office to get a visa to Thailand. Is that also something that you've seen?
Yes. It's also a true thing. Um, I have no exact clear information, but I have I have sent local outbooks. So there are hundreds of thousands of Myanmar people in front of the foreign embassies like Thailand, Korean, South Korean, Japanese, Indonesia, Malaysia, and UAE. So,
Mhm.
the hunter Myanmar military terrorists make a restriction about the visa application. It's like 400 people per day. Yeah. So, there are a lot of people in front of the Thailand embassy, but only about 400 people can get daily visa. So it's like a chaos.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that does this mean that I assume people are going to try and cross the border
Yes. Yes.
without a visa?
Yes. There's also I don't want to say that, but it's a sad thing. Um, these poor people are very, yeah. I'm very sorry for them. Um, Honestly, I'm not also very okay, but I feel very sorry for them. They get adapted. They get arrested by foreign police like Thailand police. Yeah. The,
Mm.
as for me, I don't like Thailand so much because time is honestly Thai should be Thai should be welcome Myanmar immigrant. So as a humanitarian things, Thailand should accept the Myanmar immigrant. But
Mm.
you will know that Thailand make very restricted on that, and there are a lot of Myanmar immigrants illegally arrested day by day. So
Yeah.
it's very sad things to mention.
It's a terrible thing. I actually recently interviewed Kasit Piromya, who's the former foreign minister of Thailand,
Uh huh.
and his sentiment was exactly what you're saying, that Thailand should be helping and
Yeah.
welcoming Myanmar
Yes.
refugees.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the Thai government is currently not very friendly to the Myanmar people. This is a very sad situation. But
Yes. 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 Because
so
Myanmar is poor. This is the reason.
I see. There's an interesting thing. I always hated it when someone said Myanmar is poor,
Yeah.
because it's not true. Myanmar is rich. It has poor people because the
Yes.
military stole all the money.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Of course. But the top military tier. Yeah.
Mm.
They talk each other. They don't look on the citizen, the people of the country. So they don't care about us.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Why would they? Um, it's a sad story, but it never changes.
Yes.
So let's go a little bit broad here. The conscription situation is terrible, but it's not often that we get this insight from a person who knows what things look like in Myanmar on the streets. So let's look at what does life look like under the military rule during the civil war, during the Spring Revolution. So it's looking at the economy in
Uh-huh.
the country currently. What is what how have the costs changed?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got it. You will not believe that, but there are huge changes in our country. Yeah, I will give you some examples. So there is a famous Myanmar traditional food like this name is mohinga. Yeah, uh, a plate of mohinga, a bowl of mohinga is about 500 checks in the last years before coup. 500, only 500 checks. Now the initial price, the least price of mohinga, a bowl of mohinga is started from 1,000 Myanmar kyat. Yeah,
So
it's
doubled.
yeah, double, and it is only no topping in this. When
Mm.
you if you want to add some topping like more eggs, more fries, and some vegetables, you need to pay. You have to pay more money. So one mohinga, a bowl of mohinga, will cost you 1,000 to 3,000 Myanmar kyats. Yeah, it is the current situation. Yeah, there are many inflation in our country is very bad condition, but
Mm.
um vice versa. The the basic salary, the basic income, daily income of the Myanmar people is about 1,500 checks to 3,000 checks. It's the daily basic salary of a Myanmar people is only 3,000. So how can we survive this?
3,000.
Yes. It's almost sorry. It's it's even more. But um as a construction worker, as a garbage worker, like the basics worker, the blue worker, the blue collar worker,
Mm.
only get about 1 to 2,000 a day. So how can they survive in this current situation? Yeah,
But
it's the amount of one mohinga.
so okay, so let's focus on this a little bit. When I was there, I left in 2020,
Yeah,
right before COVID.
yeah,
When I was there, I went to Ruby Mart,
uh
and
huh,
the people working at Ruby Mart were being paid 3,600 jat per day, for
oh
a 9 hour shift.
yeah.
So the
Yeah,
salary, you're telling me the salary has actually gone down significantly.
yes. The people you saw are not the very physics of our country. Yeah, there are a lot of layers in our country. Yeah, there are a lot of poor layer in our country. Some only gets 1,000 a day for doing garbage thing and something like construction basics work. Yeah, it is the life of Myanmar people.
What what
Yeah,
about like a ticket, like a bus ticket? How much is that these days?
yeah. Recently, the best tickets price is also increased. um, there, there are there are two types of best ticket. At first, we have to pay 300 checks for samples and 400 checks for some upgraded bus with air
Hmm.
cons. Yeah, but now 400 check bus 10 to 500 and 300 checks buses 10 to 400. everything is everything is increasing except the salary, the income.
That's and what about the other one that we keep hearing about is fuel, for
Yeah,
cars.
yeah,
Is it still possible to get fuel for cars, or are people finding it difficult to even access fuel?
yeah. Honestly, I don't know clearly because I have no car.
Hmm.
But I do journalism for since 3 years ago, so I have some information about that. Basically, there is the trick. There is a plot tricks of military hunter and their businessmen because they bought a lot of fuel and CNG gas and store. So there is also a plot tricks of military hunter and business. They are follower businessmen because they bought a lot of fuel for the country, but they don't sell to the people. They just hold it until the price of the fuel is very high. So when the cost of the fuel is so high, they reset it. Yeah. So people are very hard to get the fuel and make it waiting for the fuel.
Wow. And how is the electricity situation? I hear that the blackouts are getting worse and worse.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, now it is 6:20 Myanmar time. Yeah, 6:20 p.m. Myanmar time. Yeah, the light came at 3 p.m. Yeah, today 3 p.m. It is only 2 hours with light. Yeah, the whole day was blackout.
Jeez,
Jeez.
that's insane. So is the cost of electricity also increasing, or is that the same?
Yeah, a little bit increase, not too
Little
much.
increase.
Yeah,
Okay.
but let me mention, they, there are also a lot of corruption in the electrical meters because um when a home costs 20,000 electric bill a month, but they make they make some fruit calculation and count to 30,000, 40,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they make a round
Mm.
calculation, and yeah. So when we get true information, when we ask them to make the calculation, to remake the calculation, check the calculation, yeah. So
Uh,
everything is corrupted in Burma, Myanmar.
and so one very important thing, because this is what we depend on to be able to get information from Myanmar, that's the internet.
Yeah.
How is the data for phone and for Wi-Fi? Has the price gone up? Is it more difficult to get it? Is it more restricted? Has it changed?
Yeah, it is also like Mohinga. The price goes to double.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh, to get 1 gig of internet data, you need to pay about 2,000 Myanmar jet. It is only 1,000 in the past. 1,000 1 gig,
Mm,
1 gig of internet data in the past.
yes.
But now, 1 gig equal to 1 gig of internet equal to 2,000 and above. Yeah,
Wow.
and then there are a lot of internet cut down, internet shutdown in the rural areas like Sakai, Makwe, Tanindari, Chinkachin,
Mm,
and the worst part is honestly Rakhine. They make Rakhine like um they treat like they treat Rakhine like another country, because
yeah.
Rakhine or XO, Damador, the AA, Arakan army. So there are a lot of intensive between them. So they press the Rakhine people, Rakhine region so much pressure.
This is terrible. But so then the question becomes, how are the people functioning? How, because if the prices are this high, people have to find a way to eat food, they have to find somewhere to live, and
Yeah.
businesses still need work.
Yes.
So what are people do? Are they using other forms of currency besides Myanmar chat? Are people trying to exchange one type of product for another type of product, or are people using US dollars, or what are people doing to survive?
Yeah. Honestly, there are some layer. I don't know. So it's like um some top tier level. So
Hmm.
the country is getting poor day by day because of the military hunger, the economic, the education, the healthcare system, everything is falling. But there are some rich men in the town. So I will give you an example. So they have $100 breakfast. You know,
Mhm.
yeah. They take they eat $100 breakfast every day only for breakfast. So you can guess when they give a party how many
Yeah.
US dollar were spent. Yeah. So that layer difference were very much in our country. So the rich men who follow the military hunters are getting rich day by day in this condition because the country is fallen and the black man, the terrorist followers happy because they can get a lot of money through this situation.
Mm. I mean that this is not surprising. I mean the cronies and
Yeah.
the land, like they of course they're going to profit and make money from this situation. But
Yes.
I'm still shocked at what you're telling me, because I have heard similar things. I've heard that the price of an egg has
Yeah.
increased from 100 chat for an egg to like 300 chat for
Yeah,
an
of
egg.
course. Yeah. You got the real information. Yeah.
And so like if the price of, if the price of import products, of foreign products goes up, nobody cares. But if the price of eggs, of milk, of rice, of
Yeah.
oil, if these
Because
go up,
it is the
people
basic
starve.
basic thing to survive. Yeah.
Yes. So that this is the question of like how can the people continue this, or are the people running out of time before they simply say we don't have any food left?
I don't want to think about that. It can be in the future. Yeah. It's like a zombie movie. So this can be happen in the future because the the price of the foods are getting high day by day, but the salary income, the basic income of ex Myanmar people are the same. So the gap between the in-camp and out-camp are a big problem in the future. So as you mentioned, there will be a food outage, goods outage in the future if the hunter is still, if we cannot make them out, yeah, the situation will be worse day by day. It's honestly the truth.
I mean, this is horrifying to hear. Although
Yeah.
the positive news is that all of the information we've received is that the military is losing everywhere and
Mm-hmm.
that they cannot survive for much longer. But that's it. I remember when I called a friend of mine in Yangon and I told her, you know, be optimistic that the military will lose in 6 months. And she replied to me and she said, I don't care. There are more bombings in my part of Yangon,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how I can get food. Not in
Oh,
6 months, but tomorrow, you know. And
yeah,
so it
it's
made me
very sad.
realize the
Mhm.
difficulties of the
Yes, yes,
people every day.
yes. There's also another true information about us, Myanmar. As you said, the um the politicians and the experienced activists said that Myanmar military is falling in within 6 months, 1 year, blah blah blah.
Mm,
But as for me, only for me, in my opinion, um, I don't trust on these stats because it is already 3 and more year. You know, the three
yeah,
year is not a joke. Yeah, it's very much time. Everything is stopped. Everything is horrible in this year duration. So I don't care about the stat by experience, activists and politicians. But I focus on my daily basics. I trick every day. I I express our freedom, our voice every day. I make a lot of click. Do you know click? So we make click to get a friend through a link. It's like charity organization. So an organization make a link and people Myanmar citizen click on it and the organization collect the money through the links and then they collect money and they spread the in this area. So
yeah.
I do everything I can do on my daily basis. So I don't care. I don't really care about the expectation and stakes. And the only thing I can say is I would never give up. I would never stop till we win. Yeah. Same like me, there are a lot of pro-democracy Myanmar people who is trying on a daily basis for our current future.
And that's excellent to hear. But on the negative side of this, while
Yeah.
while you are fighting, and this is something that I saw a lot of when
Yes.
I was translating the protest signs and the protest memes, that so many people like you were angry that you are fighting to protect Myanmar when you should be at a university, at a school, receiving your education, becoming more skilled, and you have lost that opportunity now.
Of
Um,
course. Of course. Yeah.
and I just wonder, like, can you, as someone who was a student, can you tell us what it was like for you doing your study, and then the coup happens and the military starts taking over the universities? What was that like for you? What was that like for the other students?
So for this question, I want to say that it is depend on the person, on the people. As for me, I don't like Myanmar military terrorists, so I quit my university and I took part and I'm still taking part in Separatist Soviet movement CDM. Um, so as for me, I don't care about the education of Myanmar military terrorist hunter, but on other people's, they have their own thinking, and they will think they might think, um, no one will no one will can no one will not help them when you have not a bachelor, a master, a doctor degree, and when you don't have these, you cannot get good jobs, good opportunities, and they think like that. So, uh, in my friends, close friends, there are a lot of people rejoin the University of the Hunter. So it is depend on the people. So people like me, people like X, will never rejoin the university controlled by Myanmar military terrorists. But on the other side, there are a lot of people who only look on their sides. These arrogant people, these arrogant students rejoin the university, the school, under control of the Myanmar military terrorist hunter. So it's only depend on the people. Yeah.
Interesting. But so, where does this leave Myanmar for the future? Because what this means is that we now have people growing up in Myanmar, people who might be, 16, 17, 18 years old, maybe early 20s,
Yeah.
and the possibility of getting a good education is not there because the
Mhm.
military controlled universities are
Mhm.
propaganda factories. They're
Yes.
not teaching properly. The possibility of getting work, getting a salary is not there. And I think there are probably very few people in Myanmar right now who are thinking about getting married and having children, because who would want to do that?
Of course.
So where does this leave Myanmar, a country that is going to look at a 3 year, maybe 4 year, 5 year, we don't know, period of time where no new graduates from universities were being created, or very few. Families were not being started, businesses were not being started, careers were not being started. What does the future of Myanmar look like to you?
Yeah. There are a lot of things to mention when we talk about the future of Myanmar, but I will mention with one word. Myanmar is like a dark room with no doors. Yeah, we are like in a dark, very dark room with no doors. Uh, we don't know. We have no idea. We have no opportunities to leave these arrogant countries. No arrogance. The country is good. The military is arrogance. This military terrorists, we don't know.
Selfish, I think that they're selfish.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, there is more than savage. They are. There is no words to mention them. Honestly, they are also more than terrorists because so
Yeah.
not even so I this only my opinion. So a terrorist, a real terrorist could not do the same thing like that. They are more than terrorists. They are terrorist pro max. Yeah, like an Apple. They are terrorist pro max. They take
I I
they do
agree.
everything. Yeah, so sometimes you can imagine what they do. Recently, hot new in Burma, you will know that two revolutionary youths were burned to death. Do you know that?
Mm. I hear these stories
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah. How
regularly. Yeah.
can how can a man can kill other human beings and they are only children, about 20 teenagers, and burned to death? So I have no idea what are they? They are terrorist pro max. Yeah.
This
So
is they're psychopaths, but
yeah, 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 yeah.
to me, it reminds me of like a child,
Uh huh.
from the school ground, like the bully who
Yeah,
feels that everyone should respect him, everyone should do what he says, and if someone disagrees, then he will punch them. And it feels like that bully didn't actually mature and is now an entire army, and we gave them weapons. And they're doing the same thing that they were doing as children because they feel that they deserve everybody respecting them.
yeah, 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 yeah. There is the main problem of them
Mm,
because they think they are another level. You know,
yeah.
um, in our world, everyone is precious. Everyone is important in this ecosystem. Because I'm an engineer. So I'm also important in our field, but on medication field, doctors are important. So in transportation drivers, in business, the shopkeepers, the transporters, so on. So every person, every people is important in their role in their life, but in their opinion, in their thoughts, they are the only important things of the country Myanmar. So they think that people need to pay respect, have to pay respect, and they are like king. Yeah, this is their
Mm.
psychological problem. I think so.
Absolutely, yeah. It's this. I cannot find the correct word to describe this level of entitlement. We
Yeah.
would say when you feel you deserve something, but this is more than that. This is I don't just feel that I deserve it, but I get angry and furious when you
Yes.
don't give it to me, and I will kill you for it. Like it's such an extreme level that I wish we had better vocabulary to describe this.
Yeah.
But it's horrible, horrible to see.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Um, but anyway, I wanted to bring the conversation back to where we were
Yeah.
beginning with the conscription, because you mentioned to me that the military has now said that the conscription law that they brought in, actually it's a very old conscription law that they're just using,
Yes.
originally was going to bring in women, and now they have said that they will not be bringing in women. Is that the
Yeah.
case?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did they say why?
In the last few days, uh, an update news was out. Um, at first, both men and women are included in their mandatory military service. But then, after some days, I think it's about 2 weeks. Yeah, after no, sorry, it's about 1 week. After 1 week, they said again, they mentioned again, women and girls are not included in their mandatory military service. So for now, only young men, only youth and men are included in their plan.
But so did they give a justification for the? Is this because the people were angry, or
Uh,
is this sexism, or like why?
yeah, this can be because of many factors. It's like this can be also a justification to make calm down the angry Myanmar people. But I don't think so. Um, in my opinion, I think is they have no they have no enough IQ. You know, they, their brain level is so high.
Mm,
So
yeah.
uh, this was maybe very childish, but yes, this is the real condition. Let me tell you some interesting facts. The educational level of a general in Myanmar military terrorist Tamador is only 4 grade. You know, one, two, three, four, only 4 grade. Yeah, they only learn 4 grade, grade four, and then
Wow.
they rule out the people with these crimes against humanity. So they have they did not get a good education, so they cannot make a good decision, and they have no uh, how can I say that? So they have no empathy. Yeah, they have no empathy, and they don't feel sorry for their movement, their crimes. So they think they are kings. Yeah, they are privileged, so they can do everything they want. So this is the main problems.
This is this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, the situation in the country is just deteriorating. But one thing that also doesn't seem to be clear to us: what is the difference between the cities and the country? Because we hear these reports of the military being pushed back when they're
Uh-huh.
fighting in Shan State, Kachin, Magwe, all this stuff. In the cities, Yangon, Mandalay, big cities like this, how strong is the military presence?
Yeah. There are 14 main regions in the country. You also know that. Mandan, Rango, Yangon, and Mandalay is like a privileged region. The military don't touch these two regions easily. because Mandalay and Yangon is the center of economic system. Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
So they they control with soft power. How can I mention that? They open a lot of bar, nightclubs, and alcohol shop and illegal things. You know, like casino, and they they make young people to not too interested in the politic in the revolutionary movement. Yeah, they 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 um they are not educated, but they are very good at making people hurt. Yeah, they are very expert at that. They are not educated, but they are very good at people, its own people
Mm.
hurt. So I think Yangon and Mandalay is the next place of their plan. Yeah, they will not touch before getting this side area like Shan, Rakhine, Danindari, Sakai Makwe, and so on.
Okay. So currently, if you were to walk down the street in Yangon or walk down the street in Mandalay, you would not see soldiers?
Of course, there are a lot of soldiers. Please,
Oh,
uh,
there are.
yeah, there are a lot of. I will tell you. So, there are many military tracks in the city of Yangon, and
Hmm.
they are making their gang standby. They pointing out to the people. Can you believe it?
Okay.
Yeah, why riding through the main roads? They are pointing the people with their gangs. Yeah,
Wow.
they are also in the ready standby position. Their fingers are on the button click.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the condition in Myanmar. So everything is collapsed, and uh, let me mention everything is dead. So we don't know how to get out of this condition. There are no doors because no one cares. Myanmar is nothing. Myanmar is not a special country for the world. So we have no future. Yeah. But as I mentioned before, we don't give up. Yeah, we don't give up. We will try everything we can do.
Excellent. Excellent. Um, so I know that you're pressed for time, so we will sort of conclude the interview. And I want to thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Honestly, there are a lot of things to mention, but I will sort out the most important things. Firstly, I'm an online based activist, pro democracy activist. So there are a lot of difficulty in my daily basis job. The first thing is internet connection. We have to use VPN to make secure connection because the military terrorists can detect our real location. So we have to use VPN for our safety. And the second thing is we have no security. The military terrorists can invade your house every time that they want. When you sleep, they knock out your doors and they pointed out you with their gangs. Yeah, they can do everything. Yeah, this is what happening in Myanmar. Uh, the others, yeah, the other problem is the education. It is already 3 years under the military coup, so the educational system is totally fallen, and the hunter is, yeah, sadly, the hunter is almost 100% control on educational system. There are a lot of rejoin students in school and university, but at the same time, there are also CDM students like me, and we don't give up on this condition. So the educational system is totally fallen. At the same time, parallelly, the economy is also getting worse day by day. As I mentioned before, the income and outcome gaps is very big day by day. The price went to double, triple back. The basic income of Myanmar people, the basic income of Myanmar people is same like past 10 years. So there's also a big problem. And another thing is, honestly, we need real action from the international communities and countries and organizations like UN and something like that. But they they only share with their works on paper. They are very concerning. They are very worrying. They are very sorry, and then they talk the military terrorists to stop the crimes. So, uh, think to yourself, terrorists can be can terrorists be stopped their crimes with a works of the United Nations? It would never. Terrorists don't care the works from international community. So the only thing we need is real action and real supports money for the Myanmar Supreme Revolution movements. Yeah, and there are a lot of things to mention, but according to the time restrictions, so these are the main things I want to talk.
Since the coup, Better Burma has provided consistent humanitarian aid to vulnerable communities across Myanmar. Over time, however, we have also come to realize that another consequence of the coup is a severely collapsed economy. Trade and tourism have almost entirely evaporated, and local artisan communities suddenly found every opportunity of continuing livelihood closed off to them. To help support those artisan communities, Better Burma now brings items direct from their workshop into your home. These lovely pieces from a far corner of the world will not only light up your room or make a lovely gift for a loved one, but they'll also help dozens of artisans create sustainable businesses and livelihoods. Part of each purchase will also go towards our ongoing nonprofit mission. To see these beautiful crafts, visit alokacrafts.com. That's Aloka, A-L-O-K-A, crafts, C-R-A-F-T-S, one word, alokacrafts.com. Of course, as is your preference, you can also consider making a donation through our normal channels. If you would like to join in our mission to support those in Myanmar who are being impacted by the military coup, we welcome your contribution in any form, currency, or transfer method. Your donation will go on to support a wide range of humanitarian and media missions, aiding those local communities who need it most. Donations are directed to such causes as the Civil Disobedience Movement, CDM, families of deceased victims, internally displaced person IDP camps, food for impoverished communities, military defection campaigns, undercover journalists, refugee camps, monasteries and nunneries, education initiatives, the purchasing of protective equipment and medical supplies, COVID relief, and more. We also make sure that our donation fund supports a diverse range of religious and ethnic groups across the country. We invite you to visit our website to learn more about past projects as well as upcoming needs. You can give a general donation or earmark your contribution to a specific activity or project you would like to support, perhaps even something you heard about in this very episode. All of this humanitarian work is carried out by our nonprofit mission, Better Burma. Any donation you give on our Insight Myanmar website is directed towards this fund. Alternatively, you can also visit the Better Burma website, betterburma.org, and donate directly there. In either case, your donation goes to the same cause, and both websites accept credit card. You can also give via PayPal by going to paypal.me/betterburma. Additionally, we can take donations through Patreon, Venmo, GoFundMe, and Cash App. Simply search Better Burma on each platform and you'll find our account. You can also visit either website for specific links to these respective accounts or email us at info@betterburma.org. That's Better Burma, one word, spelled BETTERBURMA.org. If you would like to give it another way, please contact us. We also invite you to check out our range of handicrafts that are sourced from vulnerable artisan communities across Myanmar, available at alokacrafts.com. Any purchase will not only support these artisan communities, but also our nonprofit's wider mission. That's Aloka Crafts, spelled ALOKACRAFTS, one word, alokacrafts.com. Thank you so much for your kind consideration and support.
Yaranangaya Unyana Dadu Yadananga Ganizadamana, we got a Bisayana, Bisayo. Oba Yarananda Dayananga Yaranaya Dayanamboda Yaranamano.